Anand.
Yeah, Shashank.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So the broad idea, since we have somewhere around 45 minutes for this session, and right after this session, we have another session at 6 o'clock, which will deal with the internship. And that's the reason I had sent that Google form to you all so that I've jotted down some of the basic questions and whatever maximum questions we can cater here. Whatever maximum questions we can cater here, we will try to cover as much as possible. Yeah. Uh, okay. So we would also request participants to keep your mic mute, and we will try to keep a question answer session towards the end. If we get time, if the time permits, we will definitely cover that. Otherwise, the major objective would be that we have already jotted down the major questions and we are going to cater maximum. However, if there is any question which doesn't get covered in the session, for sure you can get back to us and we will definitely share whatever way we can help to you all. So, Josair, one of the common question which I have got is how to prepare for the theory paper and for the practical paper before exams. So if you can just throw light and share your experience with students, like how to prepare for the theory and the practical paper.
Sure, sir. So the basic idea for doing such a vast portion, even I was very scared. Like when I started my executive, I was very scared that how will I finish the whole portion on time. So the basic idea was when I interacted with my colleagues, I came to know that I started reading 5 sections daily. Like when we travel or when we commute by any mode of transport, I just suggest everyone that you can use the MMJC app, which is quite handy, and you can read all the sections in that particular app. So if you guys read 5 sections daily from that app, it will be very helpful, because what happens is that when you read those sections, you complete the company law subject in a 2 months time, and that will definitely help you, because that will lessen your burden. So read 5 sections daily. Maybe you can also try to read LODR 5 regulations daily. Then many people have that phobia that practical subjects are not that easy to clear. So maybe what did I did was, like, I started doing 5 practical questions daily. Maybe it was financial accounting, or maybe it was financial management. I started doing 5 subjects daily. And one of the important thing in these subjects are that, though if you do 5 sums daily, your conceptual knowledge should be very strong. If that is not strong, then it might hamper your preparations during the examination time. So make sure your concepts are very clear, and you practice those 5 practical questions daily with conceptual knowledge. Secondly, one of the while you prepare such big subjects, I feel that at the exam moment, before the exam, we don't have much time to study, because we hardly get 10 hours, 12 hours to study. So maybe when you're studying, you should make notes of your own, because that certainly had helped me a lot. Because if you make your own notes, you will be able to recollect while you write the papers. So start preparing your own notes, jot down the main important points of each and every concept, so that at the end moment you don't have to revise the whole module. If you read your own notes, that can help you for sure. Then, sir, one more point was, like, when you are doing these subjects, make sure you don't learn from an exam point of view. Make sure you do from a career point of view, because if you do it from an exam point of view, that will just help you to clear the exams. But after executive, there will be a professional level as well. So if you do that from an exam point of view, it will hamper you in professional.
Okay. Okay, and again, another thing, when Josair was in executive and in professional, so he had that entire practical papers which were subjective. So a consolidation five question for a day would have been like way too much. But now the students who are in executive, they have the privilege because their practical papers have been made MCQ. So probably you can do a lot of other MCQ questions which can be helpful for you all. But definitely, well said that writing practices way too much, and whether it's theory paper or it's a practical paper, the writing practice really needs, and again, it's practice that is going to polish your concepts and you're going to test. Another regular question, which is there in the mind of the students and which have been again replied here. Sir, should we read Bare Acts? Should we read Bare Acts? This is one of the common question, and it's a myth that at student level Bare Acts is not relevant, or it's very difficult to read Bare Acts. So how relevant is Bare Act? Like you mentioned about reading sections 5 days, 5 sections in a day from the MMGC app. So how relevant it is to refer the Bare Act?
Surely, sir. So I personally recommend to read the Bare Act because during executive I started reading Bare Act from that moment itself. And what happens is that after a certain point of time, you become very easy. It becomes very easy for you to read the Bare Act. So and then you can start connecting each and every section. For example, I can just give you an example that is a right issue. We all know that if you want to do a right issue, we'll just go for section 62. But what if the company doesn't have that scope in the MOA authorized capital? So for that, you have need to see your MOA, and if required, you have to alter it as well as per section 13. So if you read the Bare Act, you'll start connecting each and every section. So secondly, there can be example for the management proposes to do a debenture, to raise funds by debentures. So you'll definitely see section 72. But if you want to see comprehensively, you may have to see section 181C because maybe you require the shareholders approval as well. So it definitely helps while reading the Bare Act because it does not only contain the Bare Act, but it also contains the previous amendments, and through which you can analyze what was the intent of the previous amendment. Thirdly, you come to know what circulars the MCA has given for a particular section, and accordingly you can make your preparations well, because when you read the Bare Act you come to know about the rules as well. So many people I have observed that they don't read the rules, but rules are equally important because at the end the section only prescribes that as may be prescribed. So at the end the rule says the whole procedure. So I personally recommend that you should all read Bare Act because like I said previously, we don't have to prepare ourselves from an exam perspective. We have to prepare ourselves from a long-term perspective. So that is the basic idea for reading the Bare Acts. Because every day when I was a trainee, when I became an employee, my interpretation started changing, because when I used to read it, I was a trainee at that time. I didn't have the practical visibility to understand that particular section. Now when I read the Bare Act, I am able to understand a bit of the practical as well. So start having that habit from the executive itself or maybe in the professionals, so that from a long-term point of view, you are good to go to read the Bare Act.
Okay. And Shashank, would you like to share your experience regarding the Bare Act?
My experience is that in addition to reading the Bare Acts, we should also take practical experience. So our institute has given us the flexibility that you can join your training after executive or after finals. And now the training structure has also changed. So I would say that we should take that practical experience by going through NCLT, or we should go to SAT or any other tax authority, and then we should listen ki how a particular council. So you will see a lot of cases which are being taken on a day, and different councils, they interpret the law in a different way. How does the bench they interpret the law? So earlier when I became a company secretary, and after that when the NCLT started, I used to go every day to NCLT wearing a white shirt and a black trouser, and I used to sit at the last bench. I used to sit there and I used to listen, and I realized कि एक्ट में तो कुछ लिखा है, but how are they interpreting it? So a simple word like may or shall. So there was this thing जहाँ पे कहा था कि creditors जो है उनको, I guess it was section 230 233 कुछ था, तो it was कि it may be given to the creditors the notice of a meeting. So the word was written may, and the council was pressing कि may ही है, so may or may not be, तो हम दे या ना दे, it should be allowed. But the bench said no, nothing doing, we are going to read it as shall. We can read it as shall and we will read it as shall, and that is the way they went. So it is very important कि Bare Act में जो लिखा है, I will read, and every time I read I might get a different interpretation. But when I go to NCLT or any other authority, मुझे genuinely जो regulator है वो क्या कहना चाहता है, वो वहाँ पे वो पता चलता है. Also we should read judgments. अभी क्योंकि लॉकडाउन था या फिर अभी हम लोग जस्ट स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, तो हम लोग ठीक है सेट नहीं जा सकते, एनसीएलटी नहीं जा सकते, लेकिन इतने 3 साल से जो 3 या 4 साल से जो जजमेंट्स है, बहुत सारी जजमेंट्स है, अगर हम लोग सिर्फ उतना भी पढ़ ले तो हमें एक आइडिया आ जाएगा कि यू नो व्हाट इज द अथॉरिटी थिंकिंग, व्हाट इज एनसीएलटी थिंकिंग। तो मेरा इंटरप्रिटेशन एक हो सकता है, लेकिन एनसीएलटी ने इस पर्टिकुलर केस में क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन दिया, और केस टू केस बेसिस में भी उनका इंटरप्रिटेशन चेंज भी हुआ होगा। लास्ट 2017 में जो केस, सेम केस पे उन्होंने क्या जजमेंट दिया, आज वो क्या जजमेंट दे रहे हैं, सो देयर माइट बी अ चेंज। सो आई फील कि definitely Juzair has said that we should read the BED Act, but also we should read judgments, we should go to NCLT, we should go to SAT to get a practical knowledge.
Definitely reading judgment is also really helpful. This I realized when I was doing my post graduation in securities law. At that point of time, I still remember one of my exam, I took the SR Steel judgment, the committee of creditor, and the Satish Kumar and that SR Steel judgment I had picked up, and that particular judgment had really helped me to crack that one particular exam. आप सोचो वो एक जजमेंट से मेरा एक पूरा एग्जाम क्लियर हो गया, एंड इट वाज अ ओपन बुक पेपर। सो मैंने बेयर एक्ट और वो एक जजमेंट का कॉपी मैंने अपने साथ रखा था, बिकॉज whenever you pick up a judgment, you will realize that the judgment doesn't speak about only that particular act. Let's say there is a judgment on IBC, so that committee of creditor SR Steel judgment which I'm telling you, it was on basically IBC, but it didn't cover just IBC. It covered Companies Act, it covered Contract Act, and like I have been saying in a lot of my sessions also that that particular judgment is such a beautiful judgment, because वहां पर lifting up of corporate wheel को जिस एनालॉजी के साथ समझाया है, दैट एलिस इन वंडरलैंड, इफ समवन रीड्स दैट, बहुत सारे द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल, टेक ओवर, रेगुलेशन, सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट कम देयर, सो दैट इज रियली हेल्पफुल इफ यू रीड जजमेंट एंड बेयर एक्ट। एंड लॉन्ग रन में अगर आप चेक करो, ये जैसे आपको मेरे पीछे अगर ये बुक्स दिख रहा है, सो दिस इज द ऑफिस कैबिन वेयर आई वर्क, सो यू सी दीज आर द बुक्स, एंड अल्टीमेटली आपको यही बुक्स को पढ़ना है। सो इट्स नॉट द मॉड्यूल विच यू आर गोइंग टू यूज इन योर प्रैक्टिकल प्रोफेशनल एरिया। एंड मॉड्यूल में भी अगर आप चेक करो, it's not that exams के लिए module is not important, that's equally important, but with module you should also get a grip on the BEAR Act, because a lot of times students, they have this issue that modules are not updated, right? So a lot of time, so if you have a grip over the BEAR Act, that is really going to be helpful. Plus, like how Juzair mentioned that you need to know what is the intent of the lawmaker, how Shashank said that bench उसको किस तरह से interpret कर रहा है. So reading committee reports is really going to be helpful if you read those committee reports. So let's say if you want to know holding company के definition में क्यों change हुआ, why there was a change, there was an explanation which was added to the definition of holding company. So why that explanation was added, why a particular thing was deleted, why a particular thing is being inserted. So ये सब आपको committee reports में मिलेगा, and lot of time if you know the why of the act, what is in the act will definitely be there in your mind, and this is also going to help you in your exam. So जब आप अपने आंसर को लिखते हो, so if you are explaining a particular provision which got amendment, which has some amendment, so if you write earlier it was this, then pursuant to this particular amendment, this law has been changed and the provisions are also changed. And later on, when you put this kind of an answer, so this reflects in your answer sheet, that the examiner also gets more convinced that yes, the student is ready to be a professional, or if you are in executive, the student is ready to hit the professional next level पे जाने के लिए आप ready हो. So it's all about convincing. So as you know, Somshekhar Sundaresan sir जैसे हमेशा बोलते हैं that you know it's all about convincing. Law is all about convincing, whether it's your other counterpart in a contract, or it's your board of directors, or it's the bench which you are where you are appearing. So it's all about convincing, and to convince you need to really have a good grip over the law. So that's another very important area which you both of you really addressed. That's really great. Now
Anand,
yeah
I would like to add on this
yeah
that
sure.
One of the things I also remember is कि though because I went to NCLT and because I used to sit there, so I got the practical experience, and so even today I remember that particular thing कि बेंच ने क्या कहा था उस दिन, क्या इंटरप्रेट किया था. मे बी इफ आई वुड हैव जस्ट रेड द बुक, सो इवन आई हैव बुक्स विद मी, और मैंने सिर्फ बुक पढ़ा होता तो शायद मुझे याद नहीं होता कि मैंने क्या पढ़ा है. बट सो बिकॉज आई हैव हर्ड इट फ्रॉम समवन एल्स फ्रॉम द बेंच इटसेल्फ, सो आई थिंक कि इसलिए वो मुझे आज तक याद है कि ऐसे बात हुई थी, ऐसे 15 मिनट तक इस पे डिस्कशन इसलिए चल रहा था. सो practical experience helps.
Absolutely. And visiting NCLT, SAT is it's very easy, and these all are accessible. और आप अगर normally भी जाओगे तो it's all are accessible. You can get in and you get good learnings. And sometimes when I used to appear before NCLT, या अगर मेरा कोई case है where I am assisting, so I used to go early. If time used to permit, I used to go early and used to sit there and पीछे चुपचाप जाके आप बैठ जाओ, just listen. It's
Yes.
beautiful, and trust me, when you connect what you have studied and when you see that case, it's really brings adds up a lot to your entire learning experience. uh,
Anand,
yeah, Shashank.
I would like to answer on the first question. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the question was, ki, how should we prepare for theory and practical exams? So
Mhm.
I have realized, especially for open book exams, हम लोग काफी चिल पिल ले लेते हैं कि ओपन बुक है, मैं आराम से पढ़ लूंगा, जब मन होगा तब पढ़ूंगा. और मैंने ये रियलाइज किया कि काफी स्टूडेंट्स मुझे कल सुबह 9 बजे पेपर है और आज रात को 12 साढ़े 12 बजे मैसेज करे, सर मेरा पढ़ाई नहीं हुआ, कॉल करे, सर मेरा पढ़ाई नहीं हुआ, मैं क्या करूं, गिव मी सम मंत्रा कि मैं अब कर लूंगा. So that is not the time Anand और शशांक can help. What was to be done is, या फिर किसी भी सब्जेक्ट में अगर एक बहुत बड़ा पैराग्राफ है या फिर काफी लोग कहते हैं कि मैं पूरा मॉड्यूल कैसे पढूं, सो आई फील कि हम लोग मार्किंग्स कर सकते हैं. मे बी वी कैन यूज डिफरेंट पेन्स. सो माय प्रोफेसर यूज्ड टू टेल मी कि जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है उसमें डिफरेंट पेन्स यूज कर लो. अगर एक बहुत बड़ा पैराग्राफ है, सपोज फॉर्म पे बात चल रही है, तो वो कौन सा फॉर्म है, तो सपोज एमजीटी 14 है, कितना डेज है, 30 डेज है, तो अगर मैं शॉर्ट में वर्ड्स यूज कर लूंगा तो मुझे पूरा पैराग्राफ पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. या फिर अगर कुछ आंसर्स कॉमन है, जैसे अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स है, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स है, फॉर्म सेम हो सकता है, उनका प्रोसीजर सेम हो सकता है, थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ वहाँ, तो अगर कोई एडिशनल डायरेक्टर या कुछ और है तो थोड़ा यहाँ वहाँ होगा, मोस्टली पॉइंट सेम होंगे. तो एक बार अगर मैं पूरा पढ़ लूँ एग्जाम के अगले दिन और बाकी पॉइंट्स में सिर्फ एडिशन पॉइंट्स पढ़ूँ, तो इट विल बी वेरी बेनिफिशियल. तो वो एक वर्ड या ये आई फील दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, लेकिन वो आज से शुरू होना चाहिए. एंड
Right.
also I used to record my answers. So especially if we have ladies who are married or who are expecting a baby, so my friend was expecting a baby and she asked me, तो we used to record answers. और जब भी मैं आज सपोज सर ने पढ़ाया और कल क्लासेस जा रहा हूँ तो मैं सुनते सुनते जाता था. सो मैं अपना जो ट्रैवलिंग टाइम है वो वेस्ट नहीं करता था जो गाने सुनने और इसमें. तो अच्छी बात ये हुई कि बार बार सुनने से वो यहाँ बैठ गया था मैं कि अच्छा इसका आंसर ये है. स्पेशली आई यूज्ड टू डू इट फॉर टेक्स्ट.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that should help.
That's a very creative way to retain answer. And open book, like it said, it's the biggest jumla. Open
It's
book
the
is the
biggest
biggest jumla, right? Okay. So another thing, Juzair, this question was again asked a lot of time. How to improve the drafting skill? How to improve your drafting skill as a student? Like when you get into your profession, you will definitely learn a lot about drafting. But as a student, if I want to learn my drafting skill or if I want to brush up the drafting skill, what all things I can do which can help the students to improve their drafting?
Sure, sir. So, sir, one of the most important point while drafting is that you should always know the content of the section very properly. Because if you want to draft a resolution or if you want to minute something, the content of the section you should know it thoroughly. So again, the importance of reading the Bare Act comes here again as well. Secondly, sir, when you start preparing yourself for the exams, you have the module, which is the basic source of information for you. But what I used to do is that I used to see the AGM, EGM notices of different companies. Like example, Reliance had done a bonus issue in 2017. Infosys had done a bonus issue in 2016. So reading those resolutions, the AGM notices, the EGM notices, I came to know many other sections, provisions, which law is applicable for this AGM notice. So what happens is that when you read the AGM and EGM notices, you not only learn the drafting, but you also learn the sections as well. So one of the other things you can do is that you can see the minutes of various companies. Like for example, our company uploads the minutes of the AGM. So if you read the minutes, you will come to know what contents you need to draft in a AGM minutes. So that will really help you for understanding what drafting you should do. So maybe you're on mute.
Okay, so thank you, thank you. Okay, so Shashank, can
Hmm.
you share your experience, which can help students in their drafting, and also it would help in their exam presentation?
I feel whatever Jose said. In addition to that, what I want to say is कि करने से होगा. So one is like कि मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, मैं minutes पढ़ रहा हूँ, but करने से होगा. So I should also have a practice of writing, because जब मैं भी student था, I was facing a lot of difficulties जब मैं minutes बनाने हैं या notice बनाना है exams के लिए. But once I joined my training, एंड आई रियलाइज कि मैंने इतने सारे मिनट्स, इतने सारे नोटिस बना लिए, और उसके बाद मुझे वो डर ही नहीं था कि यार मुझे नोटिस बनाना है, मुझे मिनट्स बनाना है, बिकॉज रेगुलरली प्रैक्टिस हो रहा था. सो द मंत्रा इज प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस, एंड इट इज रिटन प्रैक्टिस. सो सुन रहा हूँ, अच्छी बात है, बट वंस इन अ वाइल, दिन में एक बार या हफ्ते में एक बार एटलीस्ट, आई शुड ऑल्सो हैव अ राइटिंग ऐप.
Absolutely. And another thing which I used to do is the if you read the prospectus, let's say you want to get a grip over ICDR. आप चाहते हो कि ICDR के सारे professions आपको याद हो. Now ICDR is there both in executive as well as professional, and lot of students face problem in uh, getting a grip over ICDR. सर उसके regulations याद नहीं होते, उसके requirements याद नहीं रहते. One thing I would like to say that just go and read the DRHP that's available on the SEBI's website. So if you read the DRHP, and trust me, एक ये myth होता है that DRHP में जो language होगा या जो practically prospectus में language होगा, that would be very difficult. One prospectus you read, you will realize, just don't go by the number of pages. Just don't go by the number of pages. आप थोड़ा थोड़ा करके पढ़ते जाओ. Automatically you will remember a lot of things. Same way, अगर आप सेबी की वेबसाइट पे जाओ, so you can, if you want to get grip over buyback, so buyback में जो letter of offer है, public announcements है, right, you go and read that. Same goes for your takeover regulations. You go and read those letter of offer which have been drafted, the public announcements which have been drafted, the DPS which has been drafted. That will not just help you in your academics, but it will also help you in grooming your profession. Because what will happen when you will go for your internship, at that point of time, if someone asks you to draft a particular thing, उस वक्त आपको वो एक हिच नहीं रहेगा कि पता नहीं कैसे ड्राफ्ट करें. बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ टाइम a problem arises because you don't know how to write. So apna writing practice is something which we really don't focus upon when we are a student, but that really makes you in a very, keeps you in an awkward situation when practically you hit those problems. So reading is going to be something really good. So if you do that, aapka drafting skill definitely develop hoga. And like Jose said that his company uploads the minutes of the AGM. Now you see, the minutes are being drafted by professional company secretaries of the listed company. अब आप उनके लैंग्वेज को अगर आप पढ़ोगे, सो लेट्स से यू रीड द एजीएम मिनट्स ऑफ 5 कंपनीज. नाउ 6th कंपनी का आपको पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा, दो यू शुड रीड, बट 5 को पढ़ने के बाद में यू विल गेट अ ब्रॉड आइडिया, बिकॉज यू विल फाइंड अ कॉमन थ्रेड कि आप कैसे उसको इंप्रूव कर सकते हो. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी रियली रियली हेल्पफुल व्हेन यू if you want to really improve your drafting skill. Because I never referred, like though there are many books which can help you to understand the deed, but or a document, but the only way to get a grip over it is by practice. So the more you practice and the more you read, the better idea you're going to get. So this is something which is there from our end. And moving ahead, this another question, Jose, this is another question. What should be the benchmark level of knowledge for a student who has cleared executive? Like this question was specifically asked that the student has cleared executive, but a lot of time they feel when they go to professional, they feel that अरे ये profession तो आता ही नहीं है. Or let's say when they are in a class and the professor makes a statement from any topic from executive, ये तो आपने executive में पढ़ा होगा. At that point of time they are blank. अच्छा ये पढ़ा था, ये तो याद ही नहीं है. So what should be that benchmark level of knowledge which you should have? Because as a professor, the things are that I feel you should know everything, but from a student perspective, what you think should be a basic, a bare basic, that if a student has cleared executive, these are the things which are definitely expected out of a student who has cleared his executive.
So the basic thing I feel is that we should all be thorough with the company law, because in executive you have a subject company law, and by reading 5 sections daily, I am sure that you can complete the whole subject in executive itself. Because in professional, what happens is that when you are thorough with the company law, many of the things get covered up in other subjects, because in many subjects there are some references of the Companies Act, so that will definitely help you. And secondly, taxation laws, direct and indirect taxation laws, if you do it thoroughly in the executive, then in professionals you don't have to spend much time in those subjects. So, example, if you have 9 subjects and you are doing 2 subjects thoroughly in executive itself, then you have only 7 subjects on which you have to focus more. And sometimes what happens that the references of companies act come in many subjects, so that will burden your that will surely less keep you burden less. So that is one point. And actually, to benchmark knowledge after executive is like, if you don't know, then it's fine. You should not be like demotivated or depressed. Rather than you should come again, read that concept, read that section, and make sure that before exam you are ready and you know everything. I know that it for exam we can't remember everything, but we should give our best effort. We should not be like after exam we feel that, oh no, I didn't study this particular concept and that only came. So we should give our best shot and never feel demotivated that if I am done in executive I can't do in professional. You can do in professional as well.
Shashank, would you like to share some inputs in this?
Yes, as you have already mentioned that as a professor or as a company secretary, I would feel कि उनको सब आना चाहिए. But I also understand after executive, it would be थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा if I expect them कि उनको सब कुछ आना चाहिए.
True. Absolutely. And another thing, like you can do a lot of introspection. Like if when you have cleared your executive, उस वक्त आपको पता होगा, like you are the best judge, आपको पता होगा बहुत सारी चीजें जो आपने executive में नहीं पढ़ा या आपने उसको miss किया. और while you are giving exam, you realize, अरे ये तो like I'll tell you, it's an honest confession which I make. When I was giving my professional, I know drafting, I knew appearance, but मैंने pleading वाला part drafting में छोड़ दिया था. And probably my drafting part was so strong, and at that point of time, it was with company law, advanced company law in practice, and drafting was a group. So we had to get 100, right? So my advanced company law in practice was really good, and drafting part was I had made it very strong. Pleading part I had left, right? And even after qualifying, I had no idea about pleading part, right? Until unless I took CP and I started actually working in that area, उस पे grip आने लगा. So a lot of time this happens that when you give your exam, you yourself know ये point आपने छोड़ दिया है, and that point of time जो आपको relevant लगती है चीजें, उसके ऊपर आपको you should take a good grip over those topics, because that is really important. And as I say, एक बार आपका अगर professional clear हो गया, right, एक बार आपने अपना professional clear कर लिया, definitely it becomes very difficult to go back to your basics, read those books again. And trust me, lot of time in profession you are always tested on your basics. You're tested only on your basics, and if your basics fundamentals are strong, so that is really going to be helpful.
I agree. I agree to this. In fact, I had been, and I also know a lot of practicing company secretaries, firms, major firms. They take an examination after an interview. So they take a interview, face-to-face interview, and after you are done with the interview, and you are like, "Hash, ठीक है, अभी घर जाना है." Then they tell you कि नहीं, अभी paper भी लिखना है. So I feel that is very important. There they test your writing skills. There they test your knowledge about a particular section or a particular subject. They also test कि minutes लिखना आता है कि नहीं, notice लिखना आता है कि नहीं. So even for executive students.
So even this year January, I don't remember the exact company, but a lot of students had given. It was one of the Tata group where a lot of students had gone for interview, and जैसे उनका interview finish हुआ, they were asked to write the minutes of the interview. It's not the meeting, the minutes of the interview, और उनको वो test so basically they were testing your writing skills. So this is again
Okay.
right? One question, I think Shashank, you would again love to answer this. So Shashank and Joser, to both of you, that what are the qualities or a habit that we need to imbibe other than the education qualification for becoming a good CS, a good professional? So what are the qualities which you really need to imbibe? So maybe Shashank, you can start with this, and then Joser, even you can share your views in this.
I have 3 qualities which I would see in a person. One is mindset, the other one is professional ethics, and the third one is leadership qualities. 3 qualities which one should have. Mindset is a positive mindset. Now, I'm not saying ki, positive mindset in the sense that I have to be optimistic about my future, about myself. I should have complete confidence in myself. इट इज नॉट कि कॉन्फिडेंस है तो मैं मिस्टेक्स नहीं करूंगा, मुझसे गलतियां नहीं होगी, लेकिन फिर भी द zeal to try that I will try this. The other thing is professional ethics. So I have seen, in recent times I have seen that a lot of students, what they are doing is all they want is take, but this is not going to help them in the future. I might forget it, but if you go to the professional level, at a higher level, so professional ethics are something which one should have. So आज मेरा काम हो गया, मैं फिर आनंद सर को भूल गया, or something of that sort. So that should not be there. And the third one is definitely leadership skills. You should, even if you are not aware of a certain thing, you are not sure about yourself, you should just take it. So it's all about the mindset.
Okay. Okay. So Jusair, what qualities you think a professional should have?
So, sir, in my opinion, I feel that we should be sincere to what we do actually, because it is a starting of our career. So, being sincere is one of the most important thing. And again, dedication. If we are dedicated to our work, whatever we do, then definitely people will have they will have a courage to give some good assignments to us, so that like they will feel that let's try this assignment with this guy, so that it is a learning opportunity for us again. And sir, the last thing is like respect your seniors, I feel, because even I see it as Shashank sir said, there is a lack. There is a lack actually. Many people don't respect their seniors in a corporate world also. So we should respect the seniors, because whatever they say, it is for our benefit, and somehow it will benefit to us. And I've seen that I've seen how my seniors have given me the advice throughout my career, and that has definitely helped me a lot. So three things: sincerity, dedication, and respect your seniors is what I feel.
Anand, I
Yeah,
would again like to add something.
sure.
I idolize Warren Buffett a lot. So he has mentioned that before you hire someone, you should look for three qualities, which is integrity, intelligence, and energy. And if the other person doesn't have integrity, then don't bother about the other two. Just don't hire them. So I feel integrity is also a very important point. I personally feel that integrity is a very important point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like respecting your senior, that's one thing I have noticed. Like when I was attending session of Sharad Abhyankar sir, he's a senior partner from Khaitan and Company. He is also a visiting faculty at GLC. So I was attending to one of his webinar last month, and in that webinar, it was a 45-minute webinar, and in that almost 8 to 10 times he had mentioned about his senior. Like Sharad
Okay.
Abhyankar sir, the person who has a career of almost 30 years in company law, that person at the end, he's mentioning about, when at the beginning of the career. So it's very important you remember those who were your guiding stars. And even Janak Dwarkadas sir, he's also senior advocate. I was listening to his session on art of advocacy. So he was also mentioning about how at the initial stage, how the seniors, helped him, how he learned a lot of provisions from them. So that's very, very important. And it's not just about acknowledging. The only problem arises, like my professor, one of my sir, he used to say that, two things a professional should always have. One is the egolessness, another is the inquisitiveness. If you have egolessness, the maximum problem comes at when we are like, hame sab aata hai. हमें सब आता है. So that's the very, very vague thing which that's a very destructive thing which you can do, because that's a vague idea you have that you know everything. Because आप किसी भी बड़े प्रोफेशनल को उठा के देखो, when they give a legal opinion, they refer act. They always say one thing. They always say that never answer straight away for any query which has been put to you or which has been addressed to you. Always refer bare act, because addressing and referring the bare act shows your sincerity. So this is one of the thing which was there, that egolessness, you should not have that, and inquisitiveness to know something new. अभी और नया क्या है. एंड ये दो चीज आप में कभी भी नहीं रहेगा अगर आप में ये आ गया that I know everything. If you feel you know everything, that day it's like you're taking a downturn in your career. Always feel that you don't. And since our profession, the only thing is constant, that's the change. So amendments. If you can pick up IBC, like I take up IBC even at NMIMS for the college LLMs college students there. Trust me, what I taught them in Feb, what I taught them in March, and what I taught them in April, all three has got different set of amendments, and today if I have to pick up IBC again, that has got amendments. So change is the only constant which is there. So we should have a habit of constantly updating ourselves, learning, and that's where your seniors are really going to help you. You should have one mentor there, and that is really important. Okay, uh, Jose, you are one
Yeah.
of those students who have cleared your executive, professional, and foundation all in first attempt, and you were the one who, even though had joined classes and all, but didn't just relied on the classes, because I've seen you personally and the way you had put in those efforts. So there are a lot of students who don't join the classes. Would you like to tell them about how to do the self study, how to manage their self study preparation?
Sure, sir. So the most important part is if you don't go classes, then it is not that you can't clear. You can clear for sure. So the most important thing is you should be focused. Like when you're starting, example, you're starting for the December attempt. So you have 6 months from today, for example. So make sure from the day one you are consistent. You have to make a long innings. So you have to be focused, and you should also discuss it with your friends. But many a times what happens is that when you discuss with your friends, they tell you that I have completed company law, the whole subject is complete, and there you feel that, oh no, I haven't completed. अब मेरा कैसे होगा? Then that panic starts. So you should understand what is your capacity, what is your capability, and accordingly you should start studying daily. You should study, and there should be a break on a particular day itself, because one day you take a break, trust me, फिर से वो लाना थोड़ा difficult हो जाता है. So study the subject daily. Secondly, be focused, then make your own notes, as again said, because for example 188 is under Companies Act, then again regulation 23 under LODR, both deals with RPT, but you should know what is the difference in that. So make your own notes, because even classes provides you the notes, but if you make your own notes, then you will remember it much better, because at the exam moment you will remember that हाँ ये मैंने लिखा था, ये मेरे notes थे, so you can write it perfectly fine. Then sir, secondly is follow the routine. For example, I had made a timetable when I used to be in executive and profession. I had made a timetable. I used to get up early in the morning, then had to do some business work, business related work of my father. Then I had to go college, then I had to go classes. So make a routine. Make sure that you study daily at least for 4 hours in the initial days. And at the last, don't compare yourself with others. If you do revision at the exam time only once, that's fine, but you should be confident. If you're not confident and you have done revision for 2 times as well, then that will definitely be dangerous at the exam moment. So confidence is the most important thing, I feel.
Sure. And one more question, which was again asked regarding the self-study management. Like there are students who are going to give their exams in December, so they wanted to know how to start with their preparation. So towards the end, Shashank, if you would like to share some thoughts in that
Related to.
related to the exam preparation, self-study management.
So as I've already mentioned, that markings and these important things, they help you very much before the exam. I get asked a lot of times that sir पूरा मॉड्यूल मैं एक दिन एग्जाम के पहले कैसे पढ़ूंगा? I do not have holidays, problems है, traveling time चला जाता है. I also need a sleep of 1 hour, 2 hours. मैं lunch करूंगा, dinner करूंगा. रात को I need sleep of 6 hours, 8 hours. तो मैं क्या करूंगा? So this is why I mentioned that markings and writing those important पॉइंट्स, जो अगर मुझे पूरा पैराग्राफ एक वर्ड से ही अगर पता चल जाएगा, तो दिस इज गोइंग टू सेव माय टाइम अ लॉट. सो द प्रिपरेशन हैज टू स्टार्ट टुडे. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर मेरा अटेम्प्ट दिसंबर में, इनफैक्ट अभी तो काफी लोगों का अगस्त में एग्जाम है, सो स्टिल दे हैव अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. ऑलरेडी एग्जाम पोस्टपोन हुआ, अगेन एग्जाम पोस्टपोन हुआ है, सो नाउ दे हैव एटलीस्ट मोर 2 months, आई गेस 2 months, yes, 2 months to prepare for their exams. And आई फील कि अभी से वो मार्किंग्स शुरू हो जानी चाहिए. कौन सी बुक्स मैं एग्जाम्स में लेके जाऊंगा, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. लोग पता है जब वो लोग एग्जाम्स के लिए जाते हैं, पूरी ओपन बुक एग्जाम्स में ऐसा लग रहा है कि ट्रिप पे जा रहे हैं. नाउ आई फील दैट वी शुड नॉट हैव मोर देन 4 or 5 बुक्स विद अस, क्योंकि वी हैव ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड इट इज अ मोर ऑफ अ काइंड ऑफ अ जुमला. बिकॉज मैं पढ़ के कितना कंटेंट कितना है, मैं पढ़ता कितना हूँ, याद कितना रहता है और मैं लिख कितना सकता हूँ. लेकिन जब मेरे सामने बुक ओपन है, तो वो पूरा सब कुछ ओपन है, 2 पेज का आंसर है, 4 पेज का आंसर है, और बुक में लिखा हुआ 1 पेज का आंसर मतलब मेरा 2 या 2.5 पेज हो सकता है, बिकॉज वो छोटे में लिखा हुआ, मेरी हैंड राइटिंग पे डिपेंड करता है। सो
Absolutely.
कोई भी बुक है वो आज डिसाइड होना चाहिए, मतलब अब से शुरू हो जाना चाहिए एटलीस्ट 2-3 महीने में कि ये 5 बुक मैं लेके जाऊंगा, सारी मार्किंग्स मेरी सही जगह पर है, वेदर इट्स एन ओपन बुक। और हाँ, कॉन्फिडेंस का जो यूजर ने कहा, आई रिमेम्बर माई सेल्फ, भले कुछ आता है कि नहीं आता है, सपोज 10 चैप्टर्स में से मैंने 6 ही पढ़ा है, 4 नहीं पढ़ पाया, लेकिन मैं जाता ऐसे था कि जैसे हाँ भाई सब आता है इसको, ही इज द एक्चुअल रैंकर। So that really helps. The mindset really helps. Visualization helps. I used to
Absolutely.
visualize.
Absolutely. And one more thing, I would like to discuss this in the same regard with the Excel sheet, that how you can prepare. So a lot of time I used to tell the students, you can make this Excel. I'll share this Excel sheet with you all. Now you see how you can prepare. So you see, as of now, if you are preparing for December exam, okay, so you have June, July to till December you have, okay. Now further, if I just explain here, these are the number of days that you have. So you have in June, you have 15 days, 31 days, and this way you get it to know. Now, this is again a kind of a Excel sheet which I always share with the students. And personally, as a student, I had applied this, and this had tremendously helped me. Now, if your exam is in December, I want to know that, or basically, I used to fill here how many hours I can study in a day. So maybe lockdown is currently it's an exceptional situation, but otherwise, let's say I can study along with my classes, let's say 3 hours a day. So just fill in the number of hours you can study. So in July, let's say you can study 4 hours a day. August, I'll study 4 hours a day. September, now I need to really pull up, so 6 hours a day. Then gradually October, 8 hours a day. Then November, I would say I will study for 10 hours a day. So just fill this. Now once, and December again, you are going to devote some 12 hours. Now what is going to happen? You multiply this and you get how many total number of hours that you have. So you have somewhere around 1201 hours, correct? So in 1200, with this kind of a routine, you know you have 1201 hours to study, and now just simply divide it with the number of subjects that you are giving. So let's say you are in professional and you're giving all the 3 groups together. So 9 papers you are going to have. So the moment you write 9 paper, right, you get a average time. So see, you're going to get an average time. So just divide 1201 hour with 9. So you know per subject you have 133 hours. So if I just approximately made it, I can put it this, that I have 130 hours per subject. Now in that one particular subject, how many chapters you have, just divide it with that. So let's say there are some 10 chapters. So if I have 10 chapters, this means per chapter, how much time do I have? I have around 13 hours per subject. Now you see, to do this, this means you have, this is the number of hours per chapter you have. Now you have to decide that within 13 hours, can you finish that particular chapter? Now some of the chapters are there which are going to take more than 13 hours. So there are some of the chapters which are going to take less than 13 hours. Okay. But overall, you know, for that particular subject, you have 130 hours. Now try to fix your routine and study that way that you can finish that chapter in 13 hours. Now, if you feel that no, sir, 13 hours mein ye finish nahi hoga, or let's say this particular subject is going to take more than 130 hours, simply kya karo? Now, you see we talk about stock market. Warren Buffett ke bare mein Shashank ne abhi mention kiya. So the power of compounding, you see, just increase 1 hour a day. The moment you increase 1 hour a day, you see, so I'll just change the calculation here. You see, you get half 135 hours. Now you say, sir, इसको 4 की बजाय 5 hours कर देते हैं. Now you see the power of compounding. You get 138 hours. Sir, November में थोड़ा और focused होके will study for 12 hours. Now you see automatically you get 145 hours per subject. So if you have this kind of strategy, this is really going to be helpful for you. And one more thing, it's not just the strategy which is going to help you. आपको इसके साथ, you know, you'll have to be consistent with this. And like Juzair said, आप एक दिन का भी break नहीं ले सकते. You'll have to study. और इसका ये मतलब नहीं आपको stressful होके पढ़ना है. You have to be vision, and this way if you study, definitely you will be able to cover. And with that routine, if you see, ये आपका जो average निकल के आएगा ना, अगर आप decently पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, तो ये आपका average definitely 100 hours से ऊपर होगा. Now, trust me, any faculty you pick up, any subject you pick up, trust me, कोई भी फैकल्टी 100 आवर्स से ज्यादा किसी सब्जेक्ट को नहीं देता. तो जब एक प्रोफेसर किसी सब्जेक्ट को क्लास में 0 से 100 आवर्स में 0 से आपको वो फुल फ्लेजेड पढ़ाई करवा सकता है, तो जब आप क्लासेस ले चुके हो तो आप ऑब्वियसली काफी, you're not at scratch, so you're not going to take 100 hours, but yes, you will require multiple revisions. So this way you can again get the best utilization of the time, and that will be very helpful for your exam preparation. But one thing which is very, very important is your consistency, your dedication, and your commitment would be required, because again, without commitment, things are really not going to happen. The reason I called Jose today for this session, so Shashank and I, we were deciding and we called Jose for this session because he's one of the best example, like how we say lead by example. He's one of the best. I've seen him how he has groomed himself. So when if I claim that, you know, Juzair is my student and then, you know, he got a rank, he was my student, and if I get that kind of a swag, so that is absolutely wrong, because it's not me, it was Juzair. It was Juzair. So there is one line which I always share at the end of my video, in the introductory video which I put in the class, that same teacher, same class, same notes, same piece, everything same, but one student passes, other student doesn't. So what's the reason behind that? And that's the strategy. That's absolutely the strategy and your efforts. So with that, I would really like to thank you, Juzair and Shashank, for taking out the time and sharing your insight with the students. Now, since we have to immediately start our another session, we'll take a break of 10 minutes, and in the group, I will share the link for the session 2, and we'll resume there. Thank you all students for your overwhelming participation. If you feel any query which has been not addressed, feel free to mail it to us. I will also share the email ID, and I will also share a feedback form in the group. So you all can share your feedback, and after that, please exit the group. Please exit the group as and when the session gets over, right? Thank you very much.